from Elite Hair Care USA. Let me turn my camera around. Okay, there we go. So, I think you came from Fort Lauderdale or something,
I
right?
did, yes.
My client here traveled to me all the way from southern Florida. Um, and she came with some really good questions. And I said, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for us to go live. She actually has a list of questions. Okay? So she don't know I already peeped the phone. I peeped the phone. I'm like, okay, so she came thorough. She's ready. All right, good. So I said, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for us to be able to have a little dialogue when it comes on to hair. And these are really good questions because these are questions that you guys would typically ask in the midst of a hair care Q&A or something of that nature. So we are going to kind of have a dialogue, and it'll kind of answer a lot of questions that you guys ask as well. All right, so let's start with your next question.
All right. Now, when it comes to, even though that's what I do, relaxer, but is it okay if I ask not to leave it too long? Because I tend to freak out. Like, I think it's going to make my hair fall off.
Okay. So her question was, she gets relaxers. We know that she's relaxed. But she gets really scared when the relaxer is left on too long, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So her question is it okay to rinse it off sooner? But we're going to revert back to when we first started talking. And when me and her first started talking, she said that her hair is somewhat curly at the ends and it won't stay straight. Am I right? Correct. Especially when it's wet. Correct. That's exactly what happens when you leave the relaxer on for a shorter amount of time. A relaxer can make the hair curly and it can make the hair straight. It just depends on how long it's left on. So typically for short hair people, the relaxer is left on for a longer period of time because we want our hair to be bone straight. Some people, they'll leave it on for a short period of time and then they'll notice that their hair is more and more and more curly rather than straight. Because at that point, you just texturized. You didn't relax. So you're not actually leaving it on long enough for the process to actually work. Now, the typical length of time a relaxer should stay on is on most manufacturers. They try to say no more than 9 to 12 minutes, I think. But, you know, typically in the hair world, we'll leave it on 15 minutes. I've seen stylists leave it on 20 minutes and it's already absorbed into the hair. I don't agree. I don't agree with the relaxer being left on that long, but you also have to watch the hair and you have to know your technique. So it really just depends on the stylist too. If your stylist is one where they're doing the relaxer and they stop, girl, and then they come back and they come and put the remainder of the relaxer on, half your head is already processed. That is how you get over processing. Speed is also very important when it comes to putting on a relaxer. I can put on a relaxer in less than 10 minutes. And that's the entire head. Some stylists can't do that. So as it goes back, I understand you freak out because it's on there too long, but it's also at the speed of the stylist. Like we're sitting here talking and I'm moving.
Yes.
I'm not, trying to stop and let me move my hands and let me talk about this. And no, I'm putting on something that can inevitably take all your hair out. So speed is definitely the biggest thing. I would say if you're trying to make it straight or you want it to stay straighter, longer, then I definitely say leave it on the amount of time that it should. But it's dependent on the stylist who's doing it.
Okay.
Because I can process you in 10 minutes when another stylist will process you in 20 minutes. They'll put it on and you'll be sitting there 30 minutes now because it took them 20 minutes. When it'll take me 10 and you're sitting there for 10 more minutes and we're done. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thanks. You talk a lot about the, what is it called? The type.
Hair type?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that important to know?
When you're natural, yes.
Oh.
When you're relaxed, your hair type is a number 1 or a number 2. That's it.
Oh.
We don't. The only thing that matters to relaxed people is fine, medium, and coarse textured hair.
Oh, so it's not to know what products to use.
For us, our products are. You okay?
Yeah, I don't know if you need the mask.
Oh no, you're fine.
Okay.
You scary.
Okay.
For relaxed hair, our products are typically geared towards strengthening and slight moisture.
Okay.
So we can do both. For natural hair, the idea is moisture, 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 unless they're high porosity. And then they need strength, 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 strength. With relaxed hair, even though you might be low porosity, you still treat it high porosity because it's chemically processed and it's porous. It's already porous.
Makes sense.
So hair type in relaxed hair is more, say, your texture is all that really matters to us. Because that's going to determine how often you can get relaxed, how long, what strength, that kind of thing. And then you'll already know for relaxed hair, you kind of alternate. So you need an equal balance of moisture and strength rather than focusing on one or the other.
Okay. And I don't have sensitive scalp, but I noticed, I guess throughout the years, some areas in the scalp tend to be sensitive.
Like right here?
Is it yeah, and then a little bit where you add too, like on the right side. So is it because of the perm? Is this some things I should know not to do?
I'm not going to say it's the relaxer because I don't know. I'm not a physician to tell you medically what it could be. I do know that when you stress more, your stress areas are going to hurt more. So like for me, if I'm really stressed, right here in the middle of my head is going to hurt the most. That's where you call your mold or your soft spot. You also have them here, your temples, right? So when you're stressed or when you have a headache or something's going on, typically where's the tension the most? So that could be a tension spot, but like I said, I'm not a physician to tell you medically what that could and could not be. And if it was the relaxer, you'd know it'd be all over your head. It wouldn't just be in one spot.
Okay.
So forward for me.
Now, could you tell if I have breakage, or is it just that it's thinning?
Can I tell if you have breakage?
Yes, and the end, like they typically tell me I don't have split end, but why do I see that my ends look so dead? You know what I mean? Dead and freezing.
I think because your relaxers haven't been done properly.
So
You're not fully relaxed. Like you're relaxed, but it's more like tech flaxing, where it wasn't left on long enough, and now your cuticle can sometimes be wide open.
Okay, and I don't mind that, by the way, if it's a little bit more texturized today.
No, I'm actually almost done, so you're already straight in the back.
I love the fullness. Okay, and very important, firm, no air dry, huh? Relaxer.
You said no air dry?
Correct.
You can air dry. There's nothing wrong with that.
Really?
You're not gonna come in here and air dry, but you can air dry at home.
Yeah.
You can air dry. Remember, even if you air dry, you're still gonna now be required to put heat to your hair. So honestly, the bad will outweigh the good. Let me say it that way. I'd rather you sit under the dryer, let it dry real quick, blow it out, curl it, whatever, and then you don't have to do that again for a couple days to a week or so, right? Rather than you air dry, now you're air dry, then you still gotta go put heat because you need to straighten it out. You're just kind of making a double process when you could have just did it at one time and called it a day.
Okay.
Good question.
And is it okay to talk about like maintenance? Like I tend to be clueless when it comes to hair. I have to say I was fortunate enough that I could go by being low maintenance, but now I think I'm paying for it.
So let's go over to the shampoo bowl. We're gonna go over here. So maintenance for relaxed hair is a little bit different. Okay. Our maintenance is actually basic. It's very basic what we do. So maintenance for a relaxed head would be protein at least 2 weeks after the relaxer to re-strengthen the bond that we broke, right? Because every time we relax your hair, we're breaking a chemical bond. The hair is made up of bonds, right?
Okay.
So for the hair to go straight, we have to break the bond. If we don't break the bond, then the hair stays curly, right? So protein is going to help to rebuild and strengthen that bond. That's why we do it 2 to 3 weeks after. Tilt forward. Okay, come on back. So that's one part. Come up a little bit. There you go. That's one part of the maintenance, right? The next part of the maintenance is put your mask over your nose for me, and you can just hold it here. There you go. The next part of the maintenance is making sure that you're equally balancing your strength and your moisture content. So you should be washing your hair every 2 weeks, or 14 days, or 10 to 14 days, right? And then you're going to do what we call a deep conditioning treatment. Your treatment is going to always change because you're not giving the hair the same thing. It's dependent on what the hair needs today, not what it was doing Thursday, not what it was doing 2 days ago, what it's doing right now. That's going to determine the treatment that you're going to do. If the hair feels dry, do a moisture treatment. If the hair feels weak or brittle, you notice it's shedding, okay, we need to strengthen. That is how you do your treatment. And then it's supposed to be done every 2 weeks until you lead back into your next relaxer. Relaxers are done every 6 to 12 weeks. Right? Yeah. Some people can go 10, some people can go 12, some people can't get past 6. It's okay. But you're not supposed to overlap on the hair that's already relaxed either. So once you do that, let's say this week you did moisture, the next wash day you're going to do strength. And then you're going to alternate, vice versa. But if the hair feels dry, am I going to give it strength or am I going to give it moisture?
Moisture.
Why wouldn't I give it strength?
Right now, you're going by what the hair is doing?
What the hair needs. But what does strengthening do to the hair? What does protein do to the hair?
Weaken the bond, is that what you were saying? Okay.
So I'm going to... You're saying the right things, but based on the question. Protein is very drying. It can be very drying. Too much protein is not good. Right? Too much moisture can also be not good. Does that make sense? So if you use a lot of moisture and now you have moisture overload and you just look like a greasy bun just walking around, right? If you put too much protein or your protein, now the hair seems extremely dry because all you're doing is building bonds on top of the strand. That's all you're doing. Right? So that's why I said you have to have an equal balance. I don't suggest relaxed clients skip out on their wash day. I don't suggest people going a month without a wash day. Especially if you're relaxed because that hair does need to be shampooed. Everything builds up on it really, really easy.
I see.
Right? And it gets oily really, really quickly. Does that answer your question?
It does. It's such a new concept to me because of the habit of us thinking that we have to keep moisture, and that's why I was also asking regarding daily. You tell me as relaxed, I don't need that much moisture. Just make sure to keep it wrapped. So during the week, I'm not. Are you saying, just to clarify, can I put something? Can I put some oils, or is
you can put like a gloss, an oil-free gloss, or you can put a little bit of oil on the scalp. And when I said a little bit, like the growth balm or the rejuvenate balm, can sit up for me. You can put those on the hair. Let me see what else. You don't want it to be something heavy. Because relaxed hair, the cuticle is so low, it's so laid down. Everything it touches is going to literally just grab. So a little goes a long way with relaxed hair, especially when you're trying to keep it from feeling so dry. But sometimes what you call dry is not dry. Sometimes when you say something's dry, sometimes it's dehydrated from the things that you're doing. You could be overdoing it.
Wow, okay. Which I'm probably am.
Because you're like, oh my gosh, my hair's dry, so I gotta keep adding product and more product. But all you're doing is building up product on top of something that's not gonna pull it in. That's like filling up a cup, and then you're still trying to fill the cup up, and the water's already at the top. So what's gonna go in the cup? Nothing. So we're gonna leave her. This is the actual treatment for the relaxer. It's gonna sit on for 5 minutes. I'm going to run to the restroom really, really quickly, and then I'll come back and answer any more of your questions. You are welcome to talk to them here if you like. The questions will pop up here. I'll turn that down. And then you can answer any questions they have there. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I had to come see Crystal because I mean the way she teach and share her information. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Grasshopper. I think you're there all the time, Grasshopper. I see your name all the time. Hi, Miss Ad. Hi, Lori. Yeah, don't you love the way she teach? I always, hi, Caroline. I always feel like if I ask question or try to ask a hairstylist question, like you feel like they being buttered. And I'm like, I want to learn because I'm not going to go to you every day, but I want to feel empowered what to do when I get home. Hi, everybody. You're so nice. Just so I know, is most of you in Florida or outside of Florida? I'm just enjoying the conversation. Oh, thank you. I have, oh, Grasshopper, you from Jamaica? Texas. I was asking everybody if they in Florida.
Nobody's in Florida.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Africa. I'm from Haiti. So we neighbors. Very nice, Virginia, Alabama, New York, California. Everybody's saying the same. They learn so much.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna have you lean forward for me.
Yes.
Come on back. So if you guys notice, her conditioner with the relaxer is only on the hair for about 5 minutes. This is not the same with every relaxer, you guys. If you guys notice, I have not neutralized her yet, right? So if she was to scratch at this phase of the process, she can still get burned because the cuticle is still wide open and she is still extremely acidic at this point, right? Oh, I almost dropped it. So this relaxer, you condition first and then you normalize. And I actually like this process better. Why? Because the cuticle is already open. So it's going to take in all of the conditioning elements. It's going to take in that treatment. And then I'm going to close the cuticle with the neutralizer. Versus the typical relaxer where you neutralize first. You close the cuticle. And then you have to go back and condition and put them under the dryer and open the cuticle again.
Can you save my hairline?
What's wrong with your hairline?
I really feel like
Your hairline is fine.
I feel like it's getting pulled back. Like I can see through my scalp now. That's why I'm wondering, am I thinning? Or am
I don't
my
see
hair
any breakage, any signs
Okay.
of breakage, to be
Okay.
quite honest.
Okay.
But like I said, if you are text-laxing, you're going weeks and weeks and weeks past that point, you're going to shed more than you normally would.
Mm-hmm.
Come back for me. So what we're doing now is the normalizer. I've seen videos on TikTok and all these places where people are doing relaxers from home. If you guys know, I do not recommend that. And when they're doing the relaxer from home, they're using regular shampoo to shampoo their hair. On the pH scale, the hair is highly acidic at this point, okay? And you're leaving it highly acidic by not closing that cuticle and not bringing it back to its normal pH. That's not good. So we've been on live for 19 minutes. And you're already rinsed Relax, conditioned, and rinse.
Yeah, that's the fastest process I've ever been.
Can you close the cuticle with cold water? Absolutely, but cold water is not going to bring the pH down in the hair with a relaxer. Alright, so this is the second normalizer that I'm doing. You just want to make sure that you get everywhere in the head. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and rinse her out.
I would tell people that I'm half relaxed, half natural, so that's incorrect then.
That's incorrect. If you're half relaxed, half natural, don't wonder why the hair is shedding like crazy.
Yes, exactly. Because I thought by curling it, I thought it was if it's natural, but
Alright, so even though she's already been conditioned, that does not mean that I don't have to rehydrate the hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our hair repair and growth conditioner only. And I'm going to use this to rehydrate and soften the cuticle. Yes, she's already conditioned for the relaxer, but I want to soften the cuticle so that I can, number one, detangle her, and number two, rehydrate and soften the hair because I just did a neutralizing or normalizing shampoo on her. That can sometimes be very drying. This part of the process, you can use whatever conditioner you like, but I don't recommend using something that's going to be hard on the hair. The good thing about the hair, the good thing about the hair repair and growth conditioner is it also has detangling properties in it, so it doesn't make the hair hard like the Afri-Goddess might do because it's a true strengthener. So all I'm doing is just taking a wide tooth comb and just detangling the hair. That's it. Alright, come on back for me. So I'm going to rinse her with cool water. And when I rinse her, I'm not going to manipulate the hair. I'm just going to allow the water to run through her hair. Alright, now you sit up for me. All right. So we're going to spray on some leave-in conditioner.
how often should I clip the end?
Every relaxer. So with relaxed hair, for everybody that is on my live, I ask this question all the time. What is the trim schedule for relaxed hair? What is the trim schedule for relaxed hair? You do middle part, side part. You do middle part or side part?
Side.
Is there a specific side?
This.
So you want it to come this way?
Sure, yes, thank you.
You sure? Or you not sure?
Actually,
Or it doesn't matter?
can we do
It goes
this
that
time?
way?
It's because I change it from time to time.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay? I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
interrupting.
No,
Like
it's
over here, for example, like it's it was fuller,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm trying to warn people this is showing like it's not going back. Like, you know,
I think you're kind of overthinking it. You want the perfect head of hair. There's no such thing.
you know why? Because I feel different. That's why it's scaring me. So I'm like, am I going bald or is it just
You're not going
breakage?
bald. You're not going bald. It could be a little bit of breakage. It could be from brushing too hard. It could be that's just the area where it decided to shed more.
Okay.
But I think you're overthinking it.
Okay. I just wanted answers, and then so I'm glad that
No, you're fine.
I'm
You
just
can put
you're
your
just
extra
talking
stuff.
to me. Some people just and I'm like, I just want answers, and people brush me off.
No, I'm not gonna brush you off.
Yes, I'm so glad.
Alright, let's go over to the dryer here. So this is also what you can call air drying.
Oh.
This is air drying. It's better than the blow dryer right away. You can air dry 60% and then blow out the rest. Alright, so you have any more questions for me? Or was that all of them that you had ready to go?
About it.
That was about it.
I'm gonna leave with some products.
I'll write everything down.
And like I told you, it was like, I was wondering, because it wasn't like that. It was as full as this. So I wanted a
Do you wear
professional
ponytails a
opinion.
lot?
Sorry?
You wear ponytails a lot?
I
How do you
can
wear your
stand
hair?
down.
And you roller set it a lot?
Um,
Rollers can cause tension too, you know.
I see.
Just
So
pulling
I
the
do
clip out.
rollers. Yeah.
Just pulling the clip out too hard and now you got
Okay.
breakage. So
Okay.
not because it's roller setting, oh man, that's so much more healthy. I mean, yeah, it gives you more body. That's great, you know. It's diffuse drying without using a flat iron. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. But everything you do, you could just brush your hair
Yeah.
and you break it.
Yeah.
You know, it's relaxed, so it's fragile on either end.
I see. Okay.
All right, let's see here. So everybody's answering the question 6 to 10 weeks, which is actually correct. Relaxers should be redone every 6 to 10 weeks on just the new grow.
Yes.
Okay? So I told her 12 because she's gone years without them. So 12 is the max. Let's see here. Do I mind if you share this video on Facebook? Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm trying to go natural. Is it okay to press the hair to keep it from being too kinky? I wash my hair every week. You have to kind of watch it to see if it's the bond is being broken or slightly like the bond is slightly breaking. So if you notice that you're getting straight pieces here and there, you got to back off. I'm going back. I like the way you explain what you're doing and your expert advice that you offer. I love your hairstyle. Thank you. All right, so that was all those questions. Will you ever do a violet shampoo for gray hair? I'll never say never again, but I don't know. I'm not going to say I never will, but as of right now, I don't know. So I want you guys to look at something, and I tell people this all the time. My hair is in the healthiest state that it's ever been in, right? But even with my hair being cut down, you can see my scalp. That does not mean that my hair is damaged. That just means that I have a fine texture of hair, and you can see my scalp. That's just the texture that I was given. So now you understand when I say your texture is all that matters. So I'm healthy. I have a full head of hair. If I had the same amount of hair and I was coarse textured, I'd have a tight afro. But I'm fine textured. So that's just what I was given, and it's nothing that I can do to change that. Can you use a demi on natural hair? You can use semi, demi, or permanent color on natural hair. All right. So I guess if you guys have any hair care questions, now's the time. Go ahead.
I left out some. What was I? Is it true for black people we're not supposed to shampoo too much? That's not what was from.
Okay, so her question was, is it true for African Americans / black people? Is it we're not supposed to shampoo too much? There is a such thing as too much. There is a such thing as too much. On a scale, it really depends on your hair type.
Okay.
And it also depends if you're natural or relaxed and what you're doing in your lifestyle, right? So you can be relaxed, and I say shampoo every 10 to 14 days. That's my typical goal, no matter if you're natural or relaxed, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing. If you work out 5 days a week, are you going to make it to 14 days without a shampoo because you're extruding salt and toxins, right? If you do yoga, you walk a lot, whatever you call exercise, you have sex a whole bunch, whatever, right? Are you going to make it 2 weeks, and will it be healthy for the hair for you to go 2 weeks? If you look at people who work out, you ever notice that they have a great body and their hair is horrible?
Yeah.
You ever know either their hair is horrible because they got it all up in braids or they have on a wig,
Yeah.
or you don't see their hair at all,
Yeah.
or if you do see their hair, it's very dry and brittle. Why? Because salt is purifying and coming out, and it goes into what? The hair under your arms, the hair in the other areas, and mainly the hair on your head.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on your lifestyle,
Okay.
what you're doing, and the type of hair you have.
Okay.
So a rule of thumb for me is 10 to 14 days, but if you work out, I say halfway through that, you do a co-wash just to get that salt out of the hair.
And co-wash.
Conditioner wash. I don't agree with co-washing, but that's the only time that I agree with co-washing.
Okay.
When you are doing something where you're purifying the body so much,
Okay.
that salt can't stay in the hair. And same thing with swimmers. If you swim a lot, you also need to be rinsing that hair out, but I wouldn't say every single day.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's your next one? When you find it, just tell me. I'm answering questions anyway.
Okay.
I appreciate you teaching. I've been using your products. They have done wonders for my hair. Thank you. I take medicine for my fine and thin at the crown. What products should I use? Well, if you're taking medication for it, I would probably say just strengthening, but it really just depends on if you're natural or relaxed. I went natural for 2 to 3 years and my hair still was shedding badly. So I caved in and relaxed it yesterday. Okay. So how can I stop my hair from shedding? My natural hair type is 4C. You can't stop your hair from shedding. That's like saying, how can you stop your mouth from watering? Naturally, the hair is going to shed. That's just the cycle of hair growth. It grows in, it grows out, grows in, falls out. And then it just keeps going around in this circle. So it just keeps going into these 3 phases. And you don't know what phase you're at because this is happening to the naked eye, right? So how do you stop your hair from shedding? You can't. Shedding is actually normal. That is a normal thing. Now, how much shedding you're doing is different. If you notice you have bales of hair in your hand every single day, that is not normal. You found your question?
My confusion is protective style. How is it called protective if, isn't it constantly in a braid? I feel so.
Okay, so her question is, she said her confusion is with protective styles. They're not. They don't protect. They give you something that you don't have to do anything to your hair for right now. Does it protect the hair? No, because everything you do has a consequence. Even if you leave your hair down.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. There's a consequence to everything. But protective styles basically allow the hair to dehydrate faster. It gets dry really quickly because guess what? It's up in a style that's a long-term style for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, right? Or it's too tight and it's putting tension on the hair. Or it's not done properly and now it's breaking somewhere else. It could be so many different things, but I don't do protective styles. That's why I don't offer that service anymore in here because it's just it's abused. It's
Okay.
abused.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. What is the best to use, semi or permanent color or natural hair? My grays show up more frequent around my edges. What do you suggest? So, if you're going to a stylist, they can use a demi-permanent. Demi-permanent colors work well. Gray hair does not fade in; it grows in. So you can't stop gray hair. It's gonna grow in. It don't matter what color you use. There is no color on the planet that's gonna stop the hair from growing in. And gray grows. It doesn't fade. Crystal, although I'm natural now, I love watching your videos on how to perm your hair correctly. Thank you. Hi, Belize. You found another one?
It's probably not a big question, but to use products, use fingertip or palm.
Depends on what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
So shampoo, can I put shampoo right here?
Probably not.
No, I'm gonna put it in my palm, right?
Okay.
Because I'm using a lot. When you lotion your body, are you doing this? No, because you got a big body, right? So you need the palm. But if you're putting a little oil on the hair, are you gonna put it here and slather it on? No, you only got a little bit of hair. So that's when you can determine fingertips or finger.
Alright.
And it depends on the product because a little goes a long way. Some companies you need more of it because it might be more cost effective. So it's a lot thinner. It's a lot cheaper. Is it okay to mix your protein with your moisture shampoo and conditioner? Absolutely not. A protein is a protein. You don't mix that with anything. Do you have to use heat protectant on color treated hair? Hell yes. 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 Let me say it again. Yes. I have fine hair. What can I use to thicken my hair? You can't thicken fine textured hair. I'm fine textured too, you guys. Y'all see that? You can't thicken it. You can only give the illusion of thickness. Why my hair keep knotting at the ends? Those are called fairy knots. Can I use your serums on my 3-month-old baby? She has a bald spot. No. At 3 months, listen, anything under the age of probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4, you do the basics. Leave that baby's hair alone, please. That baby is 3 months old. It is not that serious. She might go even more bald in 2 months. that's a baby. That hair is gonna fall out, and the new hair is gonna grow in. Don't get pressured. Leave that baby's hair alone, please. Thank you. I have fine and damaged hair. What can I use? It depends on why it's damaged. Latrina, it'll be up this weekend. I have a low porosity hair and sensitive scalp. I mixed them and now know why my hair is falling out. I hoofed up. I wouldn't mix those. And low porosity hair typically needs more moisture than strength. I mean, you do need to use a comb because you're not gonna be able to detangle it 100% with just your fingers. Like you can't do that part. All right, I'm sitting in my chair. I can tell you now, your hair is very uneven. You can look in the mirror. Look, you see it?
Yeah.
So we are going to chat about that shortly after it's dry and I can see exactly where we are.
Uneven as far as the length or the texture?
The length.
Oh.
You're uneven. Look at your shirt.
I thought it was purposely. I thought it was layers.
No.
We did layers. They did wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, to each his own.
Yeah, they did wrong.
So she likes her hair to have a lot of body. She asked me if I do roller sets. I stopped doing roller sets years ago. You couldn't pay me to give you a roller set. Right? But at the same time, she still wants that roller set look with the body. I know how to achieve that in a very fast fashion without her being under the dryer for 8 hours. So I'm going to show you guys how we do it today. Which you guys have probably seen me do it 20 times before, but... So now when your hair is wet, I can tell that it's not been fully relaxed. It's being texture relaxed.
Okay.
So you have straight, wavy, straight. That is where the problem can come in.
Got it.
And it will start breaking.
Got it. And how did that happen over time? If at one point it was fully relaxed.
Well, when they're relaxing it in between for your new growth, they're not going far enough because you might have let it grow out so far that they're only paying attention to the roots itself and not knowing because you're coming in with your hair straight. So you're not going to know that all that hair needs to be fixed. That's like me looking at it now. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known because you came in and it was straight.
Okay.
So only the person who's doing it all the time and they see what's going on, they're like, hey, we need to fix that. Or we need to relax it all the way through or do what we call a restorative relaxing.
In my case, can I do a full texturizer? That will fix it.
No, if you're relaxing it, you're relaxing it.
Oh.
You can't texturize. You're already relaxed.
Ah.
So even if you were like, oh, let's just texturize, there's no such thing. It's going to be straight because you're already straight.
Yes.
You can only texturize natural hair. Or new growth.
So I like a look that I cannot have. That's pretty
Yeah.
much. Okay.
And it's not healthy because you're confusing the hair. And that's why it's shedding like crazy. Your ends are are not fully relaxed, and then you have hair in between that is fully relaxed. It's a lot. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean by when a client might need a restorative relaxer, okay? So when you look at the hair, it's relaxed, then you start seeing wavy here, then you see some straight hair here, and then you see some wavy hair here, and a little bit of straight, and then wavy, or really unrelaxed hair. That is when the hair is the perfect ingredient for shedding. And it's not going to shed at the root. It's going to break off from the actual area where there's that line. But can you do a restorative right away? Would I recommend it? No. I say wait until your next relaxer time, and then you do it then. And go through and fix whatever is not relaxed versus somewhat relaxed versus never touched. And then from there, you're on the right track. Okay, I'm going to have them tilt forward or chin down. Let me get under here.
That's probably why I'm feeling some frizziness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what time would you recommend someone to switch to natural?
Huh?
At what point would you recommend someone to switch to natural?
If I notice that the relaxer is not doing them any good. But there's no ultimate reason for me to say, girl, you need to just go natural. No, that's choice. Because I see people with natural hair and it's as unhealthy as it could ever be. So we're gonna look at the hair in the mirror. So this look. No, right?
Really not.
So we are gonna attempt to clean it up slightly. You don't have to do everything all at one time. It's not that bad. I see a lot of lines. So whoever did this layering, okay, we tried. But there's a lot of hard lines. Okay, so hard lines you don't want. So. I'm gonna put this cape on you so you can see what I see and you'll know. I want you to make an informed decision rather than, okay, just do whatever. No, I want you to see what I'm seeing, okay? This is called a cutting cape. It just kind of gives you a better eye. Yes. Alright, so this is a cutting cape. I'm gonna give you this mirror. Let me put your glasses on. Give you that. Let me move these over. Okay. So, okay. So now I'm gonna turn you here. Can you see your hair in the mirror?
Okay. Yes.
You see.
Oh, yeah.
So you see this gap over here. Then you got this sporadic hair here. And you got a little bit of good fullness over here. It needs to just be trimmed. But you're almost at a haircut. You're not even at a trim any longer. Because you're almost needing to be about right there for it to even meet this side over here. And this side still needs to be trimmed. But that's like the bare minimum. So it's really by choice how you want to go about.
But no layers today, correct?
You can still layer it,
And
but
still layer it.
yeah, but the goal is the issue is not the layers. The issue is whoever layered it, they chopped it. So now you have a hole here. This hair is sparse and it needs to come off. Your layers start up here, but then they didn't blend the layers, so now you don't have any layers. And you don't have enough hair for me to say, in this area, I'm going to layer this into this. That's like, that would just didn't make sense.
I can do a V, Crystal?
You can do a V.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a V.
We can do that.
All right. A V will work. So this would be your V. You see this blue line here? That's the V.
Yep.
Good?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's why I like to use the cape, because you can kind of see it better than if I was to say, oh, yeah, you should cut that off. All right, so we're going to do a V. They say you have beautiful hair, by the way. So we're going to do a V cut using the cutting cape. So I need to make sure that the cape is centered. Are you feeling straight? Yes. And the V is going to follow this blue line. And now she wants layers. So she's adamant on these layers. We're going to give her a couple layers. Which is fine.
Think it's more volume or it's just me who thinks that?
No, it does.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is instead of giving her a hard line of layers, I'm blending it by doing some notching rather than a straight edge cut. So it'll soften the line. That's the goal. Who can tell me when we cut the hair, what shape are we mimicking when we are doing our cut? There's a shape I always refer to. An orange, absolutely. So the head is not a square. It is the shape of an orange. So you cut it as though you were peeling an orange or taking slices from the orange.
So next time we'll get restorated.
Yes, definitely. By then you'll have a good amount of new growth. So even though I'm notching you guys, I'm still keeping it even. Okay, I'm not giving her a whole bunch of gashes in her hair. All right. So we're all done with her cut. I'm gonna now give her a little bit of body so she don't leave here with an attitude. Okay, so I'm gonna spray a little bit of polish on her hair. How you give body, really simple. So I'm gonna have you hand me these clips. Okay? So the tighter the curl, the more body the hair will have. The looser the curl, the less body the hair will have. Because her hair is longer, I'm going to give her more of a curl. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pin curl her at the same time. Okay, but you want to make sure that your pin curls are nice and neat. That's very important. They don't have to be really small. I'm doing them kind of more like large sections. Just like that. So we're kind of mimicking a roller set without actually doing a roller set. Now, of course, the roller set, the curls will last a lot longer, but I know how to get the body without the rollers. I vowed when I got out of being an assistant for forever, I said I would never offer another roller set again. And then I started out offering roller sets, and then I said, nope, I won't offer another one again. So no.
They're time consuming.
Yep. And some stylists like to give you roller sets so you can stay under the dryer while they take 18 more clients. And I couldn't do it.
I'm glad you showed me the trick of air dry and blow dry because at home sometimes I push back my wash day just to avoid having to do
Really?
roller set. It takes me so long.
I said it looks great.
Oh. quick just so I can.
Hmm?
Can I see how
Oh,
the
yeah.
pinning looks?
Yeah, turn so you can see this.
Oh, I can literally do it like this, like always.
Well, you don't want because then you'll end up getting like a fish hook. So
Okay.
so I curl it first.
Okay.
So you can even curl everything, but you want to kind of do the pin curl while the hair is hot.
Okay.
But if you're doing it while it's cold, then you can just grab all of it at once and then just kind of do the pin curl then. So let's say it was cold and you didn't have a curl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take everything, make sure that it's nice and smooth because you already have the curl, right?
Okay.
So you take everything, make sure it's nice and smooth. You see how it started halfway through?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that the ends are nice and smooth. And then if you want to keep rolling it, you can do it like that.
Okay.
But try not to, because eventually it's not going to be smooth anymore.
Okay.
Okay, let's take this. So we're going to let that cool for a second. Your hairline's fine. So I'm going to turn these off in the meantime. So how do you let the curls set? You let the hair cool. It needs to be like cool. If you pull the curl out while the hair is hot, it's just gonna droop. So you want to make sure that it's nice and cool first. So in the midst of that, I'm just gonna sweep through it quick. Let your hair cool down for a second. Let me turn it this way. Okay, so we're giving time for this top one to cool down, almost, but not just, or not quite yet. Are you driving back right away?
No.
You're staying here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to bun it, or you want to wait till you get home and bun it?
I'm not sure what you mean by bunny.
To keep the curl, for you to go home. You know, you say you do a pin curl for you to keep your curl?
Yes. If
You
you
want me to do it now, or you want to do it when you go home?
if you could, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, so here is still slightly warm. That's okay. By the time we get up there, it should be dry. Well, no, the roots are still warm. But by the time we get over there, it should be nice and cool. So we'll start on this side first. If you guys can tell, it looks like we just did a whole roller set, right? It looks like we blew her out with the brush and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and pull each curl down. Hold on. And then I'll let you see. So you can see it still has its shape, right? That's all I do.
That is the fastest service I ever had. Like.
You guys see how it's nice and springy? Just like a roller set. Okay, just like that. I'm going to take a very small amount of Frizz Tamer and Shine Serum, like 1 squirt. Okay? And I'm just going to finger style her. Same thing here. Can you put your glasses on? Can you see? Nice and full. That is exactly what she would have gotten if it was Rosette, y'all. So let me give you guys a once around so you guys can see it would have come out exactly the same way. Alright, so we're going to do what we call a bun. I learned this technique from another stylist who I actually trained under for a very long time. And this actual technique works really, really well. So she wants to keep a lot of her body in her hair. So that's what we're going to do. And actually, I'm going to use a wide tooth comb. And I have 5 pins, but I might not use all 5. Okay? So the easiest way to do this, is you're going to split the hair into 3 quadrants. If you want a lot of body, I'd say 3. If you want not so much, then you can do 2 or even 1. So all we're doing is the same pin curl that I did when I roller set it. And you'll be able to go back and watch the video too. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm making sure that the hair is nice and smooth. And I'm tucking it under. Okay, so I'm doing 1 big pin curl. Take this side and pin it right on top of her head. People won't know that we're actually just trying to preserve the curls. They'll think that this is an actual style. It is not. Here, same thing. So I'm going to do 2 because her bottom is not as full as I would love it to be. But we know why. So when she comes back, it's going to be nice and full. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And pin it. Okay? And then I like to take just a little bit of hairspray just because she's going outside. It's not a hard hold. It's just going to basically just pull up those little flyaways that are all over. That is all. So when you take it down, now she still has all that body, right? I pinned it on base rather than off base. If you pin it off base, it's going to be more elongated. If I pin it on base, it's going to be more tight and full and put all your body in the top, right? And then when she takes it down, she's done. You can sleep like this. You can put your scarf over it. I don't recommend the bonnet. The bonnet's not going to hold it. Definitely a scarf. All right. So I appreciate you guys for joining today's live. I hope you guys enjoyed this info video while we had our commentary. I think it was great. But I appreciate everybody. Please don't forget to shop the skin and body care sale that's going on this weekend. All the skin and body care products are 15% off. No code is needed on EliteHairCareUSA.com. And then, of course, all the products that I use outside of the relaxer is available at EliteHairCareUSA.com as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.